We are many. Those that live beyond the veil of darkness, where nightmares are born. Sanity knows no bounds, and Lens thrives on the suffering of the dead. Rot in the solace in the souls of the weak. We have taken refuge here among the mortals, in hope of harvest from our innocence. Tread lightly in the search for the voices and stories of the departed. For in shadow hides the evil that lurks within. As the light dies and slowly becomes night, the realm of spirits rule the world. In the darkness of your mind hides your own hidden demons, and brings to life your deepest fear. Do you have what it takes to speak to the dead? Do you accept your own mortality in the search for life after life? Have you ever seen a ghost, spirit, or demon? Have the lights flickered and the room became as cold as death itself? Maybe you have. Maybe it was your own subconscious preparing you for death. Come spend some of what's left of your own existence in our search for the answers that are hidden behind the veil. Shed off the blinders and open your mind's eye and listen to their stories. We are they. We are Incarnate Paranormal.
What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Sunday to you. First, got to apologize by saying I'm sorry. There's been no show for the past 3 days. Thursday, supposed to meet up with a friend. Didn't happen. Ended up just wiped out. Friday, ended up being at work too late, and it just fucking sucked. Got stuck going to a couple of the marshalling yards. Sat at marshalling yard for 5.5 hours before I was dispatched. Once I get over there, they were pretty quick to get me loaded, but by the time I drove from the convention center back to the yard, there was literally no time left. I got home about 7 o'clock, and by that time I was too tired and too stressed out from the day. So I apologize for that, there being no freaking stream. Figured, it's been 3 days. I have to be here. I can't miss 3 days in a row. I got to get something done. Sunday, it's still early. We can do an extended show if we need to, which I'm okay with today. I am actually okay with that. Even if we do some evidence, shut it down, then do some gaming, I'm okay with that too. Got my sweet tea, and I got a nice tall Jack and Coke. I definitely need it after this week. Oh yeah, got the fresh bottle of Jack. So that being said, got everything loaded up. We stopped at the 2-hour 20-minute mark. Last show we only got, 7 EVPs, which were want to kill some more, kill them, go back home, peace for her, I'm here for the, and we couldn't make out the rest, faker or fucker, one of the two, we couldn't totally make it out, and come here to me. Of course, this is Olympus number 3 on the execution chamber door. We are 2 hours, 20 minutes into a 5.5 hour recording. Good news is I'm getting the money together to buy at least 5 more recorders before the next investigation. I did end up going down to Arizona yesterday for Globe Arizona. I talked to former team member Jeff. He was with the team that all the shit fell apart. I won't mention the team name, but everybody's kind of branched off and doing their own thing now. Certain someone still owes pretty much every one of them a lot of money. So, of course, it's like, hey, we're all working together. He calls me up and goes, Brent, come on down to Arizona with us. And he did this Tuesday. It's like, I got to find out what it's going to cost to get my Jeep. It's like, guys, if you're going to go down, I'll pitch in for gas if somebody wants to drive. I can't afford gas by myself. And I'll pitch in for a room. That way we can pitch it like 3 ways. It'll be cheap for all of us. And I ended up being, okay, we're just going to go down. Got a message this morning. Brent, be glad you didn't go. We didn't get shit for evidence. Nothing happened. It was a dead cell. Which it happens. We go to these locations and there's not a lot of activity. I've had this happen on Nevada State Prison where we go to certain areas. Goldfield, I've gone up there times when there's been no evidence for the weekend. And I've been to Goldfield at least 30 times. So we have the times when we get no evidence. I'm glad I didn't go to Arizona. Only downside was I charged up my gear for nothing. But we're back here today to get back to Nevada State Prison. This is night 1, Olympus recorder number 3 on the execution chamber door. And for those just tuning in for the first time, the majority of the recorders I set up throughout the prison. I just set them up. This is Brent, Incarnate Paranormal, Nevada State Prison, and say the location where I'm leaving the recorder, set it down, walk away, come back, 5 to 7 hours later and pick it up. So until we get to the couple of the other recorders, these are unattended recorders for the entire duration of the night. So you're not going to hear a lot of talking except for when team members come through. We've gotten a lot of residual EVPs, and I do mean a lot. We're on recorder number, this is the 3rd recorder, or we're starting on the 4th recorder on the first night of 2, and we've already got 192 pieces of evidence. So we're actually on a good roll. Hope you guys have your good set of headphones on, good earbuds. Speakers generally won't do it. So turn it up just a hair. And if you think you hear something, don't hesitate to speak up. And where this is, you're going to hear a lot of traffic from the highway. So take that into mind as well. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Now, prison was opened in 1862, closed in 2012. So, a lot of time. And just gotta look away for a second, so bear with me. I got to get some more information for you guys. I need to share. Team members, of course. Before, pause that real quick. Before Nevada State Prison was built, there was the Warm Springs Hotel that was on its grounds, and we do know a small child died in the hotel, and we have gotten EVPs from the child, and it's really weird hearing EVPs from a child inside of a prison. It's a little disturbing. But keep your eye out. His name is, the child's name is Sebastian. So keep an ear out for him. And the people you're hearing in the background are Brian, Elizabeth, and Angela. And it sounds like they're just passing through, so. And it should be a cell door shutting coming up real soon. And you're going to hear those throughout the recordings. People coming in and out throughout the prison, and a lot of those big steel doors you have to open and close, and they echo throughout the entire freaking prison. Easy to debunk. Do you feel bad? One of our regulars, Sims, stuck at work. Hopefully she'll make it in by the end of the show, but we're going to try to do 3 or 4 hours tonight. We're going to try to at least finish up this recorder. I honestly don't think should be a problem. And for those tuning in, you see the numbers across the top of the screen. We are on show 195. That's how many EVPs we've caught since I started the show. And you see 84. That's usually how many times somebody's been insulted. So if you hear jerk, asshole, something like that, we put it on the insult meter. Always interesting when somebody gets insulted by a spirit. Usually it's this guy. First couple of locations when I started doing the stream, I was getting called an asshole on every investigation. Kind of interesting. I'm not an asshole. Not to the spirits. To the living, yes. To the spirits, no. But on the work side, I think I'm going to be asking for a raise Monday. Like I said, you hear the traffic. Yeah, the amount of extra work I've had to pull up since one of the guys went to part-time, I think it's only fair if they give me a raise. What do you guys think? Should they give Brent a raise? We're going to raise. That's more money toward equipment, more money towards travel for investigations, which means more evidence for the show. I'd like to get up around 20 to 25 recorders per big investigation. I think it'd be interesting. Because right now, I think 13, 14 recorders, we're looking at least 100 shows for Nevada State Prison. And that's a lot. That really is a lot. on the highway again. I can't throw this up. I watched about half the Pro Bowl today. They're playing like touch football. Turned that off. Went downstairs, made some stuffed peppers, some stuffed jalapeno, should I say? Excuse me a second. Why is it always when I start the stream I start sneezing? Like I'm allergic to something. Can't be the mic. Maybe it is. No, not the mic. Yeah, I made some stuffed jalapenos and nice Jack and Coke. It's like, you know what? Let's do a show. Let's do a show. All the motivation today. It's a good thing. Can I say these things? KZ AS12s, probably the best headphones I've found for analyzing evidence. Maybe I should get them to sponsor me. Hold on. Okay, that's just a cell door shutting, or one of the steel doors. Not paranormal. Debunk. Chicka-chicka. And sometimes some of these cars, the way the tires hum on the highway, will make it sound like an EVP. So we got to be very, very careful on that one. There's times we spent 5 minutes analyzing an EVP to find out it's a tire. And thanks to a couple of our regulars in here, they were able to point that out. Because I'm like, wait, that's a voice. Like, no, Brent, it's a tire. Know your sounds. Oops. Oopsie, I made a stoopsie. Like a stupid ass move. Not trying to fake evidence. Definitely not trying to fake any kind of evidence. But the amount we've gotten so far, definitely substantial. Got a couple ideas for the stream. Thinking on doing crazy hats. And do, you have to, for bits, of course, put on certain hats for bits. And wear them for 10 minutes. That could be good. Could always do the green screen mask too. A lot of ideas going right now to make the stream better. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But in the meantime, just sit back and enjoy the Jack and Coke. Cheers. And Redneck Rob, see you dropped in. How you doing today? Good to see you. Got a drink, raise it up. Cheers. Happy Sunday. Just came in during a quiet time trying to find the residual EVPs. I will say, depending on, could get to be a very interesting stream. I've got almost a full bottle. Depending on the evidence, depending on the EVPs, depending on the audience, we're gonna have fun. And the other side is I have started to type out all the evidence. I waited too long. I waited way too long to type it out. So you guys can see. Bring it down. I'm only up to about that far. So you figure I've only got 27 EVPs typed out. And we're at 192. Go back. Okay. Not paranormal. Natural prison sounds. Only downside about these in-ears, they make your ears sweat a lot. And trying to get the right size cone sucks. Especially when you have big ears like me. But if you do a lot of work with audio, If you do a lot of work with audio, these are your best bet. Do a lot of talking, not a lot of gameplay. These aren't made for gameplay. This is what you want. Sorry I'm making noise, guys. Just bear with me a second. Okay. Had to get that cleaned up. It's kind of embarrassing when you knock something over on stream. Oops. Gotta feel like a dumbass for that. We get that about every 30 to 45 minutes. And while I'm thinking about it, I gotta pause this. I promised Susan up at the prison I would clip this for so she could hear what it was. So I'm gonna put you on mute for just a second. All right, this is not evidence. We've got this through the first investigation through the prison and this recent investigation. I asked her about it. She said she didn't know. She asked me to clip it, send it to her. She's going to give it to a couple of the COs who are a part of Nevada State Prison Paranormal and see if they can identify the sound. Because the COs were constantly in and out of the cell blocks, opening, unlocking, and locking doors. So we're going to try to have her debunk it. Alright, sorry about that. I had to get that out because I forgot about it last week. So if you're paying attention right up in here, this might be sounds from the highway. If not, it'll be investigators coming through the area. Doesn't look like they're staying in because there's no power signatures much past that. Becomes kind of a pain in the ass. Especially when you do have to debunk it. Okay, it is a semi going by. Sounds like the engine brake. Like I said, it's terrible when the freeway is literally 100 yards away, 200 yards away. And I see Dead snuck in. How you doing, Deads? And this is the shit I'm talking about, like when you stream Deads. Well, if you ever stream again, I'll go ahead and throw that in there. But I wouldn't get the notification until you're like an hour into stream. It's like, what the hell? Way to drop the ball, Twitch. You want to get viewers to your people's channels, but you don't send out the notifications. Brother's birthday weekend. Well, you know what? Let's do this right. Here's a Jack Daniels. Happy birthday to your brother. Cheers to your brother. Let's just get that out of the way. Then I'm going to chase the shot of Jack with Jack and Coke. Hope he had a good birthday. Oh, they don't care unless you're a partner. You know what? I think you're right. I think you could possibly be right on this. Otherwise, you know what? I'd like to see my name bumped just once up to the top. You know, as soon as you click on the Twitch and you got that banner across the top, I just once want to see my name in there. Got a new turbocharger for his F350. Nice. Well, as soon as I get the money, I'm going to put the 5.7 Hemi in my Jeep. I already got a price on it. Full conversion, everything. I'm going to put the 5.7 Hemi conversion in. I was going to do the LS2 until I started talking to a mechanic friend of mine. Yeah, for about 15 grand, I can get the full conversion done straight across. Ford Maverick. Yeah, they are nice. What do they start off? About 30, 32? I don't even remember. Okay, 20K. And that's for the base model. 20K for a base. A 2.0 Eco or a 2.5 hybrid. Oof. I'll just save the money and you can take me out back and kick me in the nuts. I don't want hybrids. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Then go with the 2.0 for sure. If you're getting all-wheel drive, go with the 2. Yeah, 100 more horsepower and 150 more foot-pounds of torque. Yeah. You ain't got to twist my arm that much on it. $30 on the highway, 23 in the city. Can't beat that. That's one thing I'm worried about. What if I go with the conversion on the Jeep? But they said it's actually going to improve your gas mileage. You're putting a bigger motor, and it's going to move less weight. They said you should gain about 5 to 7 miles per gallon more. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. And thank God you came in not getting any evidence. Got another 20 pages on the book. Very cool. You get that thing finished, I want to read it. It's going to be white noise about another 20 minutes worth probably, until we get into anything decent. But that makes up for last week. Last week we got EVP after EVP. You know, it took us 2.5 hours of audio, or we went through 40 minutes of audio in 2 hours. wrap it up and continue into a second book, or just wrap it up for the book completely. Because you could actually turn it into a series. Wrap it up and start the next book. All right. I definitely want to read it when you get it finished. I want to read the motherfucker when you get finished. That was odd. I know that's highway, but that's just so random. Who knows? I will say though, Matt, I am so happy I went with these in-ears. It just, when I do gaming, I'm going to have the headphones on. Any audio, it's going to be this. These things are, I'm going to get another pair, I think, just to have with me when I travel. Definitely not for music, but yeah, they work good. This will be the third time I did this, but these KZAS 12s. These things were like what? They were what, $79? Now, do we have people talking here, or do we have a semi going by? Well, nothing. I researched for about 2 months on in-ears. And you know how I'll pause this for a second. Went on to Amazon. I asked a dozen questions on different in-ears. It's like, will these work for analyzing paranormal? And half the people are like, no, it won't work. This is more music. I'm going, okay. So I got into the specs on these, and they're a full 2 decibels. They register 2 decibels lower than most headphones. Wait a minute. It registers the decibels lower, a lower decibel range than the headphones. If we're at a full 2 decibels, I'm going to try them. I'll spend the $70 to risk 2 decibels. Because 2 decibels is the difference between picking up a whisper and missing a whisper. These go down to, it's like point. It's points. It's literal, like it goes down to like 4, and normal headphones start at like 6 to 8. 0.1 wouldn't be worth it, but the fact it's insanity. Because if I would have had the headphones on for most of these EVPs we picked up last week, I would have missed every single one of them. So that's why I'm going to pick up another pair for travel. Hopefully have them before, the next Nevada State Prison. Or for Halloween. And we're going to get into this. You were joking on my post on Facebook about making it down for Nevada State Prison. You got to remember, that's just outside of Reno. That's not that far from you. That's only a 2 to 3 hour flight, maybe? So, if you're open to it, you can fly down to Carson City or fly down to Reno. It might be worth it if you want to look into it. We've filled up out of the 20 open spots. We have filled, and changed to Vegas. 90-minute max. Yeah, like I said, the prison's in Carson City. So fly into Reno, get a hotel. It what's the name of it? Gold Dust West. Gold Dust West in Carson City is literally a less than a 5-minute drive to the prison. So you're talking a 90-minute flight, rent a car, and you're a few minutes from the prison. You can see the prison from the hotel. And this is Halloween weekend, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. I'm going for 3 days. Most people just want to do 2. 2 days is going to tear you up for all the walking you have to do. But if you're going to go, I suggest 3. Because you're going to experience so much activity. I mean, I've got most of the people that went last time. I've reached out to them. Kind of make up for what happened with the past team. I want you guys to come be my guests. And they said, yeah, we'll take 6 spots. They will take 6 spots of the 12 or of the 20. I got other people looking into it. If there's any other investigators out there that would like to see Nevada State Prison, message me, please. There's 7 spots left, potentially 6 if Dead's here takes one. And I got to keep a couple extras open just in case. So there's like 4, maybe 5 spots open. Halloween weekend, Nevada State Prison, Carson City, Nevada. Prison is over 1 million square feet. There's 20 buildings. You're not going to get crossed up with anybody. And it's $125 a night for the prison. So if you want to do 2 nights, $250, 3's $375. If you're into investigating, it is going to be the experience of a lifetime. Especially if I go. The spirits call for me by name. It's not bad. Dad, you're absolutely right. It is not bad when you think about it. You spend, depending where you're at, you can get round trip flights right now for dirt cheap. Your hotel is going to be the killer. Your hotel is going to be the killer. Because you're going to talk, I think that hotel cost me $115 a night. So I figure it's going to cost me 3 nights, $345. It's going to cost me $300 for the prison. So that's $600. Plus the flight, another $100, plus my food for 3 days. You're talking $500 to $700 total for 3 nights in one of the most haunted buildings in the country. And I will tell you this now. For those of you that are into the paranormal, Nevada State Prison is entirely more paranormally active than the Goldfield Hotel. And those that have been here for a long time and watched me and heard me for a long time, Goldfield Hotel was my baby for the longest time. Nevada State Prison makes Goldfield Hotel look like Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's no joke. Don't go in half-cocked because the spirits there will fuck with you. But the other side is, you go in with me because I've been there. This will be my 3rd trip. Once the spirits know you, if you go in there with somebody who's never been there, the spirits are going to mess with the people who have never been there. You ask the spirits to mess with them, and they're going to mess with them. And they do it on cue. And hey, this is this guy's first night in the prison. Give him a good scratch. Next thing you know, you got a welt on your arm. And then you got something to remember for the rest of your life. Think about it. And I got to step away for just a second, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. And the other thing, if anybody out there, anybody sees this on YouTube later, and you want to know more, please feel free to message me over here on Twitch. You don't need a lot of equipment. Those who wants to bring in everything, SLS, Spirit Box, just cameras, audio, whatever. You don't need all of it for Nevada State Prison. Bring a camera, a digital recorder, or digital recorders, your Spirit Box, your Eddy meter. Don't bring SLS. I'm telling you now, do not bring an SLS. The prison bars will mess with it and manifest, make it seem like something's there. Literally bring the one freaking digital recorder, deads. Just make sure it has enough memory for 2 nights. You're gonna need you'll need about 15 hours of audio. If you want to leave it on the full time, about 15 plus hours, 15 to 18 hours. Each night you're looking at 7 to 10 hours. You go in at 7 o'clock at night, you're done at 2 or 3 in the morning. What I'm going to do next time is I'm going to get one recorder just solely for it, and I'm going to hit record and leave it there when everybody leaves the prison, and pick it up the next evening when we come back, just to see what happens when we're not there. Yeah. A camera and digital recorder is the basic tools of any paranormal investigator. That's all you really need. Like me, I'm a big audio guy. I used to be into the full spectrum camera. I spent $800 on it. I didn't take it last time because it's too much equipment to lag around. There's more audio than anything else in that prison. You're going to get some shadows here and there, but audio is your number one friend. Don't bring all the equipment. It's not necessary. And didn't you get the Tascam DR05 or DR05X? They're deads. I think you were talking about getting the Tascam. I don't remember. Oh, aside from the recorders, batteries are your best friend. They'll go dead like that. Yeah, the Tascam DR05. Bring a buttload of battery, yeah. I said, I've got 15 recorders. I want at least 5 or 6 more for the next investigation. Then the old Olympuses, I think I'm going to give away on stream. Minus my very first recorder. Depending on the location. I might or I might not. Because it still gets clear audio. It's just really, really staticky. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten EVPs lately. We started it, 30 minutes and no EVPs. 52 minutes into the stream. We got about another 3 hours to go. And Totes My Ghost, how you doing this evening? Thank you for coming in. Now we're back to analyzing basically all the audio from Nevada State Prison this last Halloween. Eating lunch and thought you'd sit in. Well, I do appreciate it. Basically, I'll pause this for just a quick second. Most of these recorders, or all but one of them, I basically just went to random areas in the prison, hit record, say, this is Brent, Incarnate Paranormal, Nevada State Prison, this is night 1 and the location in the prison, set the recorder down, and just walked away. Just flat out walked away. For 7 hours, while this recorder is actually 5 hours, 26 minutes. Just random. We're on the 4th recorder, on night 1 on the 4th recorder. In total, we're up to 192 EVPs. And we still have another 10 recorders to go. So, unfortunately, it's a lot of white noise to listen to, but it's paid off. A lot of the active areas in the prison, mainly residual EVPs. Last week, some of the EVPs were "You Don't Belong Here," followed up immediately by "Hey Brent, you belong here. I'm here." A piano playing, which makes no sense because it's a prison. That's a sign. I'll die with this. Want to kill some more. Go back home, peace for her, and come here to me. 32 gig in the Tascam, that's more than enough. You got enough for about 60 hours of audio. Yeah, Totes, Nevada State Prison, built 1862. Closed 2012. The last part of the prison that was closed was was execution. This recorder is set on the execution chamber door. So a lot of residual, possibly last words from prisoners. But also a lot of traffic. A lot of foot traffic coming through here, which we're about to hear. A lot of people stumbling through. But a lot of these people have stirred up some activity. One of the recorders in death row, the lady who runs the Nevada State Prison tours and the investigations, her name is Susan. She was taking a group through, went into one of the cells and said, "Oh, this is Brent's recorder, don't touch it." And immediately after that, an EVP is like, "Don't touch it." Like telling people, "Don't touch this recorder, it's not yours." So there's been some very substantial and intelligent EVPs. Coming up now, you just got to deal with a lot of people stumbling through the dark. Deads, it's not that it's not what not to do. You got to remember, leaving these recorders at random locations, you're going to get teams stumbling through, talking, and investigating. This actually shows you what other teams are actually doing during the investigation. Are they investigating? Are they goofing off? Are they just passing through to another area of the prison? And I've brought this up on several shows. A lot of teams just do too much of the flapping of the gums. And I've ranted about that. Yeah, social hour while they're going to the next area. But yeah, we've heard spirits actually tell them to shut up. They're stumbling through like a bull in a china shop. These spirits are very intelligent. They know what's going on, and they're telling them to be quiet. Like, this is execution area. They don't want the noise. Hear the laughing. So what I'll do, especially for you totes, this video right here, I'm bringing up a video clip. This is taken from the last night's cell. Literally, straight out the cell door is the execution chamber. This is where they spend their last few hours on Earth. There's not any audio to it, or there's not any EVPs in this video. Now, if you're familiar with any of the paranormal equipment, I've got my Zoom H3 VR binaural recorder right here on the right side. And just to the left is the Eddy Plus. If you're familiar with the Eddy, it's just like an EMF meter. Picks up air pressure, vibration, EMF, humidity, temperature, and a couple other things. I haven't played this in a couple weeks, but since you're popping in, I'll play this for you. Just watch the video. This actually kind of freaked me out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cole and other esteemed guests that are here with me right now, I am gonna end this session. You don't want me to leave. You want me to stay. You want me to stay and talk to you? I can do that. I will stay and talk to you. Thank you. Thank you for making yourself known. So yeah, that happened. And just so you are aware, I was literally, and I'm not saying this jokingly, the only one in the building, not the cell block, not the floor, the building. Susan was good enough to keep everybody out of the building. Execution, death row, A, B, C, and D. So she kept them out of basically 5 floors. There was nobody else in the building. Closest person to me was the office, which is about 300 yards away. Everybody else was up in the other pods, over in the cafeteria, or in the office. And when I first started Nevada State Prison Evidence, we went through the video. The full video is about 56 minutes. And you can see every once in a while, you see me adjust the camera, and the meter doesn't go off. So you know it's not vibration from me. The whole time you can see me, kind of just shift and get comfortable because I'm sitting on a steel bunk. The vibration doesn't go off until the last 15 minutes. So we were able to confirm and not be able to debunk it because you're sitting in a steel bunk for that long. It gets very uncomfortable. It gets really uncomfortable. And I was starting to, you hear me say I'm going to leave. I started getting physically ill. My stomach started like doing somersaults. It's like, I'm getting ill here. I got to go. Then the meter went off and I had to stay. I literally had to force myself to stay. Then it got so bad. I got so nauseous. I got such bubble guts. I literally had to run 300 yards to the bathroom.
We are the ones who dwell within.
What's up, Malls? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Incarnate Paranormal, where we basically analyze evidence for my investigations. Do appreciate it, and thank you. Malls, do greatly appreciate it. Thank you again. But yeah, I had to make a beeline. I don't know. I didn't have anything bad for dinner. Usually when I go investigations, it's trail mix. It's something very mild. I think a spirit actually tried to pass through me to communicate, and that affected my system. But that piece of video evidence is about as substantial as I've ever found. And like I said, August will be my 14th year in the field. And that's the best video evidence I've ever gotten. Everything else has been audio. So they are just passing through. Thank God. Oh, Totes, you're more than welcome. I love sharing my evidence with people. Anybody who's willing to learn about the paranormal, anybody who wants to know anything about the paranormal, I'll do my best to answer any question, share any evidence that I have, and just do anything that I can to open up people to the field. I will literally pause the audio, pause analyzing any evidence that I have, and spend an entire show to answer one question. I've got no problem with that. But you're welcome. I share a part of my life with those willing to watch. This is my life. Paranormal is my life. If it wasn't for the day job, I'd do it 24 hours a day. But you figure with all the recorders that are left, here, I'll go ahead and bring this down. This is all the evidence we have left. We're on Olympus 3, so we've got 2 here, 2 here. We've got all this left to go through. And this is all off one. This is the H3, one of my recorders. So we've got a lot of evidence left to go over for just the prison. And Totes, I appreciate you being here, even if it's for a short time. Life gets in the way. I know this. And I'm okay with it because I miss shows all the time because of my job. But I try to make up for it on the weekends for the viewers. I'm not one of those people. I expect you to be here. You know what? If you come in for 5 minutes and then lurk, I'm okay with it. You came in, you said hi, and you spent a few minutes here. And that means more to me than anything. Somebody made the effort to be here. If you can't stay, I understand. You stopped in to say hi. You spent a few minutes sharing in my adventures, being a part of this community. And I thank you for that. Malls, be aware there is a 10-minute cooldown. As soon as you come into the room, I did that to stop the spam bots because when I started, I got hit with a lot of spam bots. So after that 10 minutes, please feel free to join in. You think you hear an EVP, don't hesitate to speak up. I will go back and reanalyze the audio. And Deads, yes, Sims will be back. I started, and she said she had an hour left of work. So you figure about another 45 minutes she'll be here, but I'm doing a long show today. Oh, hold on. There's some feedback. That should not be. There should not be any feedback. This sounds like a pair of barber's clippers. And you hear how far away the other investigators are. This should not be on the microphone. Whoa, hold on. Is that somebody getting called a bitch? Did we just get feedback and an insult? Did we just get evidence here? Did we just get evidence? Yep, we did. Feedback and bitch. There's our first EVP of the night. As I said at the beginning of the show, when I was explaining, look straight up, EVP is caught, then just off to the side, get insulted. This is when the spirits actually insult somebody. We get a double whammy for the first EVP of the night. We get feedback, bitch. Who's being called a bitch? It's got to be one of the other investigators because I'm somewhere else in the prison at this point. This is good. And Deads, I think you're 100% correct on that one. It's the closest person to them that's talking too much. This is like I said, the execution chamber door. From where they're at, they're either in the viewing room, which is on the other side of the execution chamber, or they're in death row. That area echoes a lot. So either they're in death row or, like I said, viewing room. But somebody's getting called a bitch. And that's good. So what we do, put you guys on mute for just a second while I type. Just so you guys know, when I do this, I number the EVP, of course, what recorder it is, what night it is, the location, followed by the EVP. So yes, I'm basically just writing a book on what's going on, just so when I go back later and type it out, I'm not getting lost. Okay, what EVP was this? I don't have to go back through the files, drag it out, and try to go figure out what it is again, because if you get so many EVPs during the show, it's impossible to go back and figure it out. May as well get the work out of the legwork done now than later down the road. So. So now we get to hit one on the meter and one on insult. Very, very rarely do we get a double whammy. And there's silence after, so you know it's an EVP. I'm happy with that. We done did good. And you hear how garbled they are. Because they're so far away from the recorder, they're further down the hallway. So it's echoing through and it gets distorted. And then hearing bitch isn't distorted. So there's another telltale sign that that voice is closer to the recorder than the investigators are, being further down the hallway. Which leads me to believe that EVP is only a room away. And there's another EVP. There's a different voice. Compare it to the others. So you can hear the female investigators talking right there. Right in this first 3 or 4 seconds. Listen to the tone of their voice. Listen to the pitch of their voice and just the overall demeanor. So that is entirely different than the other investigators. And it sounds like it's saying walk out. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go in, we're going to enhance it and try to, we're going to clean it up. We're going to try to take out the white noise. Just so we can clean it up. And hopefully this will either confirm or debunk it. Because this is what you'd normally hear. And there it's cleaned up. So again, we go back in, put some more vocal enhancer into it, and actually enhance it one more time. And we should be able to truly confirm it. There we go. The first two, the female investigators, Cherie and I forget the other girl's name from Lingering Souls Paranormal, who will be joining again in this Halloween, Nevada State Prison. Then the third voice. The third female voice. And we do know there was, I believe, 2 female prisoners executed in Nevada State Prison in the 140 some years they were operating. Does that place get cold rapidly while you're in there? Yes. You will walk through cold pockets like nobody's business. I was in the infirmary, and literally, it was warm, stepped into a pocket, and you could see my breath. Oh, you're going during Halloween weekend, you're bringing a hoodie. Make sure there's nothing reflective on the hoodie, for one. But yeah, it gets very cold in that prison. It gets cold. I'm not going to lie. But for me, I go in, I wear a thick pair of socks, my hiking boots, I wear shorts, a t-shirt, and a thermal shirt. I wear a thermal shirt and I'm good. I don't need a sweater. I just have my thermal shirt on underneath my t-shirt and I'm good. So yeah, it's not as bad as you think. Okay, back to it. Another one for the meter. I said the only downside to this is debunking traffic that goes by. Because I can't tell you how many times, and I know Deds will attest to this, we thought the traffic going by on the highway was actually an EVP, when in realization, it was tires going over the rumble strips on the highway. It makes it sound like a voice because it resonates into the prison, travels down the freaking corridors, and it makes it sound like a voice. I can't tell you how many EVPs we've had to debunk because of that. You notice they are doing a little bit of this. What's that beeping? That's a piece of their equipment. I don't know what that ringing is. I don't know what piece of equipment they're using, but it is annoying as hell. Don't bring noisy equipment in when there's other people investigating, because that shit just resonates through the jail. It just does. Any place that has long hallways and a lot of concrete and a lot of steel, it travels. People don't stop to take into account how far sound can travel in an area like this. You can actually ruin somebody else's investigation and all their evidence because of something noisy. It's not just a quiet area, Dads. You've got steel and concrete 200 yards long. It does a little bit. Reminds you of organ music. I can agree. That's an investigator. That's not an EVP. I did bring this up on a previous stream. Lingering Souls Paranormal, some of their team took a very bad brunt of the investigation. Like 3 of their investigators got, I don't want to say viciously attacked by the spirits, but they got viciously attacked by the spirits. A couple of them had to be carried out of certain areas. And to be carried out of an area of one of these investigations in the prison, it's not a good sign. I don't want to say they were doing something they shouldn't have been, but the spirits saw an energy that they weren't crazy about. So you hear all this talking, all this activity that they're doing. It makes you wonder if the spirits aren't going to have it. There's too much of this and not enough asking questions. Just enough socializing to be like, this is supposed to be a quiet area. Say what you got to say and get out. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Being in execution, death row, there's not a lot of talking aloud. So if there's too much of this, or the spirit's like, I ain't having this, and they followed them to a different area of the prison, there it is again. Somebody got called a bitch again. And it's the same frickin' voice from before. That's 2 for the night. You're right, Dads. So there is completely obvious, there's a female spirit here that does not like one of the investigators, or multiples. We're never going to know that. But for damn well sure, it's talking to one of the female investigators. Which one? Probably not going to ever find out. I could find out on the next investigation, be like, I was kind of listening to some audio. You called somebody a bitch. Who were you talking to? And see if they can give us a name. Because all the evidence that I got on the first investigation and this investigation, I'm going to be using for the third investigation. Whatever evidence that I've gotten, I'm taking with me. I'm going to be using that in my favor. It's all going to be up here. It's all going to be on the fly, but this is... This is good. This is good. All right. Okay. Another one on the meter and another one on the insult. Being called a bitch by a spirit is a wake-up call? Well, what do you think happens when they call me an asshole? How many times have I been called an asshole by the spirits? Not on this investigation, because now they know me. But other investigations we've analyzed on this show, I can probably say out of that 86, half of them are me being called an asshole. Yeah, this is odd. That's not one of the investigators. That's got a twang to it. That's like a southern accent in this one. It almost sounds like "let me out" something something something. I don't know. This one's going to be tough. This is one of those ones where it's so low or it's so garbled. We might be losing evidence just for the simple fact. So noise reduction, de-reverb. Is that saying "let me out, let me out"? It almost sounds like it's saying "let me out" twice. Get me out. Okay, we're close on this one then. We're definitely close. I'm not the only one hearing that "get me out" type of thing. That's okay. Okay, we're good. We're got two of you. If we can get 2 out of 3, 2 out of 4, if we can at least get 50% to agree on what we think we're hearing, or even close, we're on a roll here. This is substantial. Okay, the first one is obvious. I think it's either "get me out" or "let me out." We can agree on this. The second part, it's the same voice, but it's more labored. It's more forced. Like they're trying to fight to say it. Okay, it's "get me out" is the first part. Then there's "hey." I don't know if it's full "get me out," but there's definitely "out" in there. And this one is so creepy because it's so labored. This sounds like it's actually coming from inside the execution chamber. This might be somebody's last words. This might be somebody's last words. "Get me out. Get me out. Hey, out." It's definitely... This is definitely something. This is definitely a substantial EVP considering where this recorder is at. It's saying "get me out." Is this picking this up from the execution chamber? Somebody being executed? "Get me out of here"? Or is this from just across the hallway in the last night cells? "Get me out. Get me out." Aim Fix Party. Redneck Rob, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Good to see you dropping in and chatting. Hope all is well with you. Hope you're enjoying this. This is started off slow, started off boring, but we're getting into EVPs. We're getting into EVPs, and I am happy with it. And I forgot to write down the last one. So that's So we definitely need to get the timestamp on this one before I... And this one is a little chilling. It really is just a little chilling. Let me out. Get me out. Wow. We're definitely getting more EVPs than we did on the first investigation. Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, Totes, very, very possible. We actually did have an EVP, a male voice, probably about a dozen shows ago, where it said, "Get me home." Did that come from the execution chamber? Because it was from the execution viewing room, is that somebody's last words, "Get me home"? Get my body back home? Very, very possible. Like I said, considering where the recorder is, you have to take all that into consideration when we get the evidence. Is this the last words, the last thoughts that are imprinted on the environment? Get me home, or get me back home, get me out. They know there's no escape. So it's like, get my body back home to my family. That's sad. It's really sad. Yeah, these people committed crimes. They killed somebody to be executed. But to get a voice saying, "Get me back home." It's morbid, it's sad, it's depressing. Yeah, it's good to celebrate we get an EVP, but these are still human beings, are still spirits, their energy still resides there. They still have feelings. They still have consciousness. How can I help you to get to the light? A resigned expression they have, knowing going to die but just want to go home. Yes. They want their mortal remains buried at home. It's human. And I've seen a lot of investigators go into these locations and they don't show a lot of respect to the spirits. They don't show that human side. Oh, you killed, who'd you kill? How many people did you kill? You know what? Why'd you got to go that route? You're in execution. You're in death row. You're in death row. You killed somebody to get there. Why do you got to bring that up? Go a different avenue. They just want a little respect, yes. And you've heard the questions I've asked to these spirits, Deads. You're one of the few who's been here for most every show. A little bit of human compassion towards them goes a long way. One of the convicted killers, his name's Carol Cole, is Edward Carroll Cole. He hated being called Carol. It was his mother named him, his middle name Carol. His mother cheated on her husband, took him along, dressed him up as a girl, and grew up disrespecting women his entire life because that's what his mother forced upon him. The EVP I caught, I will no longer call you Carol Cole. I will call you Mr. Cole. And we got a thanks out of it. Show a little bit of decency. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. You're going to get a lot more evidence that way. You're going to get a lot more evidence. And those who go in and antagonize, especially in an area like this, it freaking pisses me off. And there's another let me out. It's a hard whisper, but it's a let me out. And it's quick. Let me out. Waiting for a chance. Yeah. And we're getting back-to-back EVPs tonight. We're continuing where we were last week. And this doesn't happen very often. We'll go through amazing spells of EVPs. Then we'll go through a couple recorders of silence. And EVPs and evidence like this makes up for the silence. And another one on the meter. We're actually doing pretty good tonight. I am impressed. And it seems like that's what they're doing. Is the second somebody shuts up, they're talking. As soon as they get a chance to speak to us, they're doing it. But they're only doing it when people are in there. It's not residual. The majority of the EVPs have come during, just before, or right after people are in there or leaving. Hoping that one of the investigators hears them. Not realizing it's on a different plane than what we can comprehend or hear. That's why in the next investigation, I'm going to do live EVPs. I'm going to get another pair of these in-ears. I'm going to plug them into the recorder and listen to it while I'm recording it to see if I can hear stuff like this. And be able to stop and maybe help them. Yeah, Totes, I hope so too. I tried it last time. The only problem is once you get near any other investigators, you're literally hearing everything. You got to do it when there's nobody else around. If you're completely alone, it's going to work golden. But as soon as you get somebody within an earshot, it blows the theory all to hell. And that's why I had to stop it on the last investigation. These recorders are very, very sensitive. probably catch myself talking in hushed tones. Deads. And I'm guilty of this. On investigations, if you catch yourself whispering, which I do, because I don't want the recorders to fully pick it up, you have to mark it on the recorder. Say, hey, that's just me whispering. Everybody does it. I'm guilty of it numerous times over. But, guys, I need to get a refill on my water, so I got to step away for just 1 minute. Alright guys, sorry about that. The tea just wasn't doing it. I had to grab the rest of my water bottle. Real professional, I know. Oh well. You've seen someone go get pizza while streaming? Oh my god. Usually, totes, if there's a long section of white noise, I'll just leave the audio running and step away. I'll just turn off the camera and mute the mic. I'll let everybody continue listening and trying to find evidence while I step away. It allows people to remain interactive. But if there's a lot of shit going on, I have to pause it. Because it's not fair, because if somebody, oh, this is this. No, it's somebody talking. So, yeah, and Deads, yes, you have had people... You've had food delivered while you're streaming. I've been witness to that. Whoa, hold on. That is not saying what I think it's saying. There is no way that is saying what I think it's saying. Oh, this is going to be good. This is definitely going to be good if this is what I think it is. Is it? Let's speed this up. I wish I had a hotkey for this. So I just actually hit the button and let it do it for me. I don't gotta go back and do it over and over again. if I can call that an EVP. I think this is actually one. We're going to have to throw this up. A good old-fashioned debunk. It almost sounds like it's either saying my name, friends, or we're going to debunk it. There's just too many possibilities on this one. And with all the distortion in it, I can't honestly call it an EVP. So yeah, we're going to leave the debunk up. It almost sounds like friends. But it's one of those ones, just see what's going on. They never left. They just never left. Well, Dead's from where you got last night's cells, you got execution, you got the viewing room, you got 2 steel doors here. One leads back down to C block. The other, if you go out the door and straight, it goes down to death row. If you make a left, it goes to death row. If you go straight down into to the right, it's like a rec room. The prisoners can go in there and meet with their attorneys and play pool, read books, whatever. So that whole area in there echoes just amazingly. So no matter how far, how close you are, it's going to seem like you're almost right next to the recorder. So if they were further down the hallway, if they go into the call it the law library, if they go in there and shut the door, you can still hear the faint echo of their voice. Like I said, if you decide to go, you're going to see what I mean by the echoes. And it's going to frustrate you because you'll be there doing EVP session. There may be somebody 100 yards away and it sounds like they're right next to you. So it's just a little bit of frustration factor, but it's part of the investigation. You're almost guaranteed evidence. I'll go ahead and say it, you're guaranteed evidence, but it's just a matter of how much compared to how much people are around you. That's why I like going off on my own. right, Totes. Thank you so much for stopping in for a while. It has been fun. Hope work goes well for you, and hope you make it back in. It's good seeing you. Take care of yourself. And just looking at the time, Sim should be in soon. I'd like to get Explicit in here, get Corgi in here, get MDS in here. Just get everybody in here for a Sunday. Even get freaking Bug in here, maybe. Would you shut up? Yeah, Bug's been dealing with a lot of health issues. I do love it when all the regulars get in, though. So yeah, I enjoy it when everybody gets in here. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy when it's just a couple people and you're able to socialize and do all that for the whole show too, but it also feels good seeing everybody in here. I see Andy Willis dropped in. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Okay, that's investigators. That's not an EVP. Those investigators are talking entirely too much. Okay, she has said hello like 7 times now. If you have to say hello to somebody 7 times, either they're hard of hearing or you might have something wrong upstairs. Door shutting. unfortunately, we're back to a lot of the team socializing. Makes analyzing almost impossible. Okay. That's really faint. That's going to be a pain in the ass to enhance. But we're going to give it a try. We're going to see if we can clean this up. We're definitely going to see if we can clean this up. It might be one of the investigators. That's the only downside. So we go back through again. We enhance it up. Since we filtered it. And that's the downside. You enhance, amplify, filter, re-enhance. Okay. Now we get to slow it down. I don't know. It's not an EVP. So we can go ahead and we can debunk this now. Unfortunately, not evidence. I think what that is it's probably echo coming off everybody talking. Makes it sound like an EVP because the energy signature is so low. I think it's an echo. I can't, in good conscience, call that evidence. That, on the other hand, I don't know. What do you guys think? That's a whisper. It's a low voice. It still might be an echo. That still very well might be an echo. So again, we got to go through and clean this up. That's definitely not an echo. Definitely not an echo. Enhancer. Oh. Okay. Let's see. I'm at a loss, guys. What do you think? Let's slow it way down. Okay, the last part I can make out. It's the last part where it gets really silent. I think it's saying in the house. In the house, something in the house. Now, as I get into this, like I said, the grounds of Nevada State Prison used to be a hotel. Back in 1861, I forget the name of the hotel. I mentioned it earlier. I'd have to go back and look it up. But it says in the house. That leads me to believe that might be spirits back from before it was a prison. Since it was a hotel, people staying there, something in the house. I don't know. That's just me guessing. We'll never truly know, but that's just what I'm feeling. So we're going to save it, but we're going to mark it as unknown. So obviously it is an EVP. It's just something that's not relevant that we're not picking up. Doesn't mean it's not substantial evidence. It just means we're not getting it. So let's get this time stamped. It's one of those ones you just beat yourself up over. It's part of it. That was some real shit. Who says that on an investigation? Who says that on an investigation? This is some real shit. Really? She's not ghetto, but she might have some ghetto tendencies. Every woman has some ghetto in her. Every woman has some ghetto in her. Every woman over a certain age, let me straighten that out, has some ghetto in her. If she grew up with some of the rap groups we all grew up with, she's got some ghetto in her. She grew up listening to people like Tupac and Biggie and some of these other guys. She's got some ghetto in her. And if they deny it, they're completely full of shit. going to get loud, so watch your ears. We're skipping it. It's almost over for this section, I think. But is there a shut up in here? It sounds like there's a shut up. There is a shut up in here. Didn't I just make that joke here about 20 minutes ago? Saying I'm not going to be surprised if one of the spirits tells them to shut up. I got my wish. I knew it was going to happen. We've had it happen before. People get in there and keep flapping at the gums. The spirits will tell you to be quiet. Except they weren't nice about this one. You'll hear it, be quiet. This time we got to shut up. We got to freaking shut up. That is definitely a shut up. Sorry about that. And we got one back to back. Thanks, Dads. I need to get noise gate fixed so it's not pausing my audio or making me stagger. So I'm having to mute every time I type. But yeah, we're back to back EVPs. Get out. Yeah, Dads, they're very, very rapid responses. They're very rapid responses. These spirits in this, like I've said, the spirits in Nevada State Prison are extremely intelligent. They're very aware of who you are, what you're doing there, and why you're there. If they sense any negative energy, they're gonna show it. They're gonna show you how to get out. They're gonna find a way to make you leave. And how ironic is it that EVP number 200 is a Get Out? We need another shut up here. We need another shut up out of this. Is that another Get Out? Did we get back-to-back Get Outs? Sure as hell sounds like it. It definitely sounds like another Get Out. So we go back in, do our little magic. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. The spirits do not want them in that location. It's actually kind of funny. Second Get Out in, let's see, less than 2 minutes. Second Get Out in 2 minutes. The spirits definitely don't want them in there. There's too much flapping of the gums. Ask your questions and go away. Spirits aren't happy right now. At least we're the quiet before the storm. Right up here, top center. It's going to get really loud here in a few minutes. For some reason, guys, I'm starting to drop frames like crazy. Oh, they probably are. Because I went from like 0.1% to 2.5% like that. They've actually spent a lot of time in this area. I'm actually surprised. I've actually been in here almost an hour. And being in there almost an hour, not a lot of it's been investigating. Not a lot has been investigating. It's a little disheartening. Sounds like they're using a music box. Probably dead. I've seen a lot of investigators who will take in radios, take in music boxes, play period music, or something along those lines. But there is a couple paranormal music boxes that they make. It's kind of like a REM pod, to where if a spirit gets near it, it will start playing the music. But beyond that, I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to them. They brought absolutely a shit ton of gear with them. So I don't honestly know. Yeah, it's through I can't remember which one of the websites it is. It's actually the REM, like I said, the REM pod built into a music box. You wind it up like normal, and it takes an EMF signal to turn it on. Beyond that, I don't know. I can't give you a definite answer. It almost sounds like the investigators down the hallway. It's definitely a voice. But what it is, I can't honestly say. We're going to debunk this one. What did you just say? It sounds like she's saying, "Hey, Carol, I'm coming after you." Are you talking to one of the prisoners that way? Are you talking to Carol Cole that way? don't know if it's Carol, I'm coming after you. It's something, hey, something, I'm coming after you. That is one of the investigators. That's a given. That's given that's an investigator, but because of the echo, I don't know what she's saying. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't want to say I have issues with this. That's beyond antagonizing. That's actually disrespecting. Now, the downside to this one is how many women Carol Cole killed. He was, I don't want to say forced into that way of life, but he sought help time after time. He tried to get help. This man tried to get help. And he was refused help. Because during that time, people didn't think that kind of emotional distress existed. If you were bad, you were just bad. If you were good, you were good. There's no in between, no diagnosing. He turned and said, I think I'm a threat to people. Can you help me? He sought psychological help and he was turned away because of his ability and being prone to abusing women and killing them. So having a woman say, hey, I'm coming after you, that's antagonizing a spiritual attack. What was his name? I think it's Edward Carroll Cole. And it's actually out there that, I think it's on Wiki, that he sought psychological help and they turned him away from it. He turned himself in for help and they shut the door in his face. But her saying that, I'm coming for you in this prison, a woman saying that to somebody who murdered a lot of women, that is antagonizing a lot of attacks. That's pushing buttons in there that I would never push. Come out for me. Ollie, Ollie, oxen free. December 6th night, I think that's right. And we've got EVPs, and Susan has gotten them as well, that he's afraid to leave that area. He's afraid to leave last night's cells. He's afraid to leave. He's afraid to leave the execution chamber. But like I said, he turned himself in for psychological help before he ever went to prison. And they sent him away. He said he felt like he was a threat, and they turned him away. This day and age, if you turn yourself in for help and say that, they're going to put you in a mental institution, and they're going to give you a psych evaluation to see if you can be helped. 30, 40 years ago, no, you were actually laughed at. Yeah, you're going to find out some interesting shit. If you also get a chance, there is... go watch the last interview he gave before his execution. It's on YouTube. I'm not going to play it on here because I don't want to get TOS. But it's a little disheartening. did, yeah. That's one of the reasons. You know, he hated women so much. His mother gave his middle name Carol. He hated that. His mom dressed him up as a girl. His mom beat him. Yeah, his dad wasn't around very often. Yeah. Read the bio on him. It's depressing, and you wonder why he turned out the way he did. Yeah. And he actually admits when he was in like grade school that he committed his first murder. If I remember right, he drowned somebody. He killed another boy in a lake, threw a rock on him or something, and the authorities marked it as a drowning. And that's when he started asking for help when he was young, and they kept turning him away.
Fabulous. Triumph.
What time or one time? Let's try this. Let's try to clean this up. Sounds like it's saying what time. But we're going to find out. We're going to have to go in and slow this one down. Just to get that one word, we're going to have to slow the track down. Last time? I don't know. Is that first time? What time? What time? Another one on the meter. Yeah, so you know as well as I do, Deds, back in the 60s, mental health wasn't an issue. Be a man and get over it. Deal with your problems. It's sad to see, that he reported himself in 1960. 62 years ago. 60s. Man up and deal with it.
Where's the ring? I thought you were going to look through there because I heard you in there. I heard you in there. Something down there. So I heard your voice. That's why I thought, what is in there? I heard your voice in there. That's why I thought, is it where you guys? Because I thought they're in there and it's dark.
You're gonna hear another shut up out of the spirits.
Did you call Susan? Who?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Dads, I know you're probably still reading on him. Little bit screwed up, ain't it? A screwed up individual who sought help, who saw something bad in himself and sought out help. And the system screwed him. The system fucked him over. Yeah, the reporter was trying to goad him. Oh, that is not even the slightest little thing. But what gets me, the reporter asked him what he regrets the most. And he doesn't even remember the name of the little girl that he killed. Of the young girl he killed. He said, yeah, I regret that one the most and can't remember the name. So, is there a little hesitation or lack of remorse? Is there a little bit of lack of remorse there? He remembered the year, but he didn't remember the name. Which, it kind of threw me for a loop, because you watch his eyes. You're sitting there watching his eyes, and his eyes are full of remorse and regret. But he doesn't remember the name. Is that because of the amount of victims or the amount of stress he's been through because of his time in incarceration? Shouldn't those names haunt him? Those names should be haunting him. So there's a little bit of, as a paranormal investigator, you have a few questions there. And he even said he was finished. He said, I'm tired of fighting. He said, what's the use? With that many victims, he knew. He could have kept fighting and tried to get life in prison. He could have overturned it and tried to get life in prison, but he didn't want it. He just wanted it to be over. He's been hurting his entire life since he was a little boy. He was ready to go. I know that sounds terrible because nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to be killed and put to death. Because of some of his crimes, the way they were committed, I'd almost say yes on that. Go read into Bonnie Sue O'Neill, the one EVP that we got on that one. That's one of the worst ones to me. He killed her, stripped her body, put her bloody clothes in the dumpster, and put her body next to the dumpster. That's a little strange. Wait, Carol Cole, you need to stop and leave her alone? Yes, they have a murder PD. I've spent a lot of time on that one because of Nevada State Prison. But the EVP, this right here, this whole section, Carol Cole, you need to leave her alone. You guys are the ones that went in there and provoked him. You go in and provoke a serial killer in a prison, in death row, in execution. Then you ask him to leave you alone after you goaded him? It's called man up and deal with your repercussions on this one. I have no remorse for them getting thrown, scratched, punched, followed home. Any attachments they get in this area because they provoked a spirit. Excuse me, those jalapenos are coming back up. Because they provoked in the manner that they did, now they're asking the spirit to stop. If I was that spirit, I'd be like, you're done out of your mind. You open the door now, deal with it. I don't know if that's one of the male investigators with him, or actually that might be Carol Cole. So you're in here. I actually think this might be an EVP. I actually think this is an EVP. Yeah, it does sound like a lot like his voice. I've watched that interview probably a couple dozen times. I'm trying to, watch the mannerisms, watch for keywords, listen for keywords, listen for certain things that I can use on the investigation. It does sound a lot like his voice. It sounds like, so you're in here. You can hear him say, you need to stop and leave her alone. It's like, she didn't provoke you. Yeah, you guys came in and provoked. So him responding, so you're in here. If you're not provoking me, why are you in here? So you're in here. Deal with it. That's just me. We're gonna try to clean this up a little bit. We're gonna try. Because I'm 99% sure I can 99% for me. I think I know what he's saying. And don't worry, I'm not going to play it that loud. And it's echoing. That's weird because it's resonating. That is actually resonating. That's a strong signal right there. That is very clear. So you're in here. That's like, you need to leave her alone. So you're in here. It's like, if you didn't mean it, why are you in here? Why are you in here? Ooh, we got him. We got him. Problem is, Deds, even though this is night one, a couple of the investigators had some serious spiritual attacks in different areas of the prison. Second night was even worse for them. Almost every one of their team got attacked. Almost every, and you're going to meet, if you go, you're going to meet them. You're going to meet them if you decide to go. They're a good team of investigators. Problem is, they poke too much. One of the guys had to be carried out of the cafeteria. One of the guys had to be carried out of cell block 10. One of the girls had to be carried out of culinary. Yeah, they do poke. But everybody has their own method of investigating. Certain areas you just can't do it, though. Are you hearing this one, Deds? I'm going to play it a few more times before I clean this up. Because I think I know what this said. Is that saying, let's kill Carol Cole? Is that saying, let's kill Carol Cole? Because that's what I'm hearing. Yes, that would be another inmate saying that. That's not one of their investigators. I can guarantee you that. If this is what I think it is, this has got to go to Susan, like tonight. Unless there's another inmate in the last night cells. Remember, there's 2 last night cells right next to each other. This is on execution chamber door, but it could be a spirit down from death row because it's all right in that same area. And the spirits do travel around there. Is this another spirit saying, let's kill him? Yeah. That's exactly what it's saying. Holy shit. Susan is going to shit when she hears this. Let's kill Carol Cole. That is exactly what I thought. I'm glad I'm not alone in this. This is actually, I think, probably the best EVP we've gotten out of the prison. We are not getting better than this. We are not getting better than this. Now let's slow this down a bit. I want to try something here. Yeah. I'm not going to even slow it down. Oh, shit. Holy shit. just yeah. This is out there. This is definitely out there on the fucking far side of EVPs. I would never have, if you would have told me we were going to get an EVP like this when we started, I would have laughed at you. I'm not going to lie. I would have, you're going to get an EVP that's just going to be, let's break the internet. I would have seriously just laughed at it. Said, there ain't no way. Not like this. Especially in execution amongst other death row inmates and people up for execution. You would have said, we're going to get somebody saying, let's kill Carol Cole. I would have been like, no. Not going to happen. Serious street cred for doing that. Yeah. That's for sure. And what's weird about this is you see him in there. They did a little provoking to Carol Cole. Then you ask him to not bother one of the investigators, one of the female investigators. Then you get a male EVP saying, let's kill Carol Cole. So is that male spirit protecting one of the female investigators? Saying, you're not going to bother a female, not on my watch? Knowing that Carol Cole killed so many women, is a male inmate protecting, is a male spirit protecting one of the female investigators from getting attacked by Carol Cole, by the spirit of Carol Cole? That raises a lot of questions. Do spirits protect people in the prison? Yeah, they do. I can guarantee you that because I've experienced it. But yeah, can you leave her alone? And a male spirit steps in saying, yeah, let's protect her. In such a violent place, seeing the spirit of a male prisoner come forward to protect a female. That's pretty interesting. That's actually very interesting. Showing that when this physical life passes us by, there still is that protection, that common decency not to attack women. It raises valid questions. And I think this one, just through that whole section right there, kind of validates that.
This is not a joke. You must believe her. In the name of Jesus, you must believe her. Oh, there's the spirit. Release her. Did you see that? It was going through. Right? It was going through. What you're touching right there. This is going on.
And MDS comes in. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And what was I going to say on this? And Des, I think you were right about Twitch. My drop frames have all but disappeared. So I think you were right. It's Twitch. Hope all is well with you, MDS. Really appreciate you being here. Yeah, we're gunning for probably a 4-hour stream tonight, since I missed a couple of days. Yeah, he drives a short bus by the back seat. Oh my God, Dads. That is a perfect explanation about being a bus driver. All your problems are behind you. Literally. Yeah, and if he would have worn the ejection seat, he wouldn't have any kids.
You feel no way? What if you turn it off?
Yeah, he's just like Goose. Ejection failed. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Dads, I gotta agree. He's got a wife. All I do is find the psychos. Just like the paranormal, I always get ghosted. Gotta be a little envious of that. He's got a wife. That's kind of why I want to find a girlfriend who's into the paranormal. She can sit in the dark for a couple hours and just shut up. Go for family ghosting for a week or more. Wow. Does that saying get around that? Doesn't make any sense. That definitely does not make any sense. So let's go. Reverb. Get around this. MDS, we're going to find out. I'm still on the fence here on this one. A couple possibilities here. Definitely a couple possibilities. Can't get around this. Get around this. Still a possibility, MDS, on yours too. I don't know. It says we missed dads. Well, another one on the meter.
What's happening?
The door like swung open by itself. Like I held it and it.
So they're back in there. This is
Because
the.
this is heavy.
This
So this is last night's row.
Yes. That's smart. This is where I see the shot here. Why are they curving this?
Maybe for reflection.
If that's the case, Des, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy the server for Scum.
This is what lets you see the shot here. I just heard y'all teaching.
I heard him go.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I actually haven't played Scum in about a week and a half, so I'm waiting for Sniper Elite 5 to
So
come
this
out.
is where the
Now, when Sniper Elite 5 comes out, a few of us are going to have to get it because, yeah, you can have Sniper Wars. You can have 1v1.
place where they literally have to use it. So they know this is where
If they do that,
it's extremely cold right now. Do you feel that? It's getting colder. Do you feel that? Let's get Mackenzie to bring us a phone call. Are you okay?
It's
here
probably
last
around
night.
60 gig.
So that's where my tab
Lights
lights
all
go.
for us.
To the right,
Let us know that you're here.
right here. This is where our plug is.
So, this is nice. There is a lot of hot light yesterday that I actually see that it's extremely personal. I have that name right here. Is that you letting me know that that happened to you? Did something happen to your back, or are you trying to be invasive? Are you feeling anything? Come on over to us, please. Can you light up one of these devices? Press this button. I had found a picture in Utah. And the picture's a picture of like little neck and shoulders. And there's absolutely nobody there, but it's not. She doesn't mind now. There's some slow meditation. Is that crazy?
Come over here. Yes.
I couldn't even read any of that picture. I tried to do it if I can. And I tried to do it if I can. That picture, I tried to do it if I can. And I did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. I couldn't even read any of that picture. I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can. Did that picture, I tried to do it if I can.
I don't know if that's one of the investigators whispering. Definitely sounds like it though. It's almost too strong to be an EVP. I'm gonna find out. I'm sure. Yeah, so that's got to be one of the investigators. Let's go back and see if there's. Wait, no. There's that I'm sure again.
Come over here.
So that might be an EVP.
Come over here.
It is. It is actually an EVP. You've never been to Reno? Wow. In all fairness, until Nevada State Prison, I'd never been either.
My chest is like, yeah, I have the exact same feeling.
Oh my God, you guys. I just saw him peeking out like this again from the window.
My heart rate feels like it's like 110.
So, what we're going to do here, just to save everybody's ears, I'm going to lower this down a little bit. The last thing I want is my viewers to go deaf. That's definitely up there.
We need to get you back.
Like they're here. Like they're here. Like they're here. They're here. Yeah, they're here. Do you want to get everybody?
Yeah, get her because she needs to get back.
Okay. Guys, Susan said you all need to go back because Mackenzie is pregnant. Yeah, she's not. So we can come back.
You guys make sure you close the door.
We're coming. I'm having chest pain. Wait, a door to the outside.
Do we have all the devices? Do we have all the...
We're coming back.
Oh, there's a recorder right here. Yeah, that's not ours. Rick, do you have the SLSs? Are you not happy about
There's one
it?
SLS missing somewhere.
Or are you happy? She has one.
Oh, she has it, and then he, yeah.
Okay, so we're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like standing right next to my recorder just talking loud. You'd be like, oh, there's a recorder right here. Let's walk over here so we don't blow out the frickin' speakers.
Okay, we have to shut that door.
Which one? This one too?
Okay, we're coming right behind you.
This.
Better yet, let's just do it. Oh, just... We're actually onto a, like a wrecking ball. That ain't no bullshit right there. But the good thing on it, they provoked some evidence. They provoked the spirits to come out, and they came out. You heard one of the guys say, I got some chest pains. Well, depending on how you guys treated the spirits in there, can you blame them? The guy in culinary, he got wrecked. Or the girl in culinary, she got wrecked. The guy who was in cell block 10, he got wrecked. Hopefully we caught that on audio, because I had recorders set up all over the place. I had the good recorders up in the cell blocks, up in the other cell blocks. So we're definitely going to see when we get to those. But it might be a few shows. We still got a lot to go. Pushing them out the best way they know how. Yeah, it's last night's cells. It's death row. Last thing they want is, freaking 6 people in there talking at the top of their lungs. Well, let's see, we're 3.5 hours in. That'd make it at 10 o'clock when it started, probably 10 o'clock at night in that cell block. They definitely don't want a bunch of people in there screaming and bumping and walking around. We're under enough stress it is. Why you guys gotta come here and make all this ruckus? Okay, you guys want to play? Let's play. That's what I'd do if I was a spirit. You want to come in here this late at night? Alright, I got you. But it's good to finally have some quiet. We did get We got 14 EVPs out of that section. 14 freaking EVPs. We did good. That's a lot of EVPs. In 3.5 hours, we've gotten 13 EVPs. The epic one, yes. That still bothers me. Speaking of that, while we're waiting for some and Dad's, I just did get it sent off. That's why I had to mute it and look away. I'm curious to see what her response is going to be. And those locks, let me get back to her message real quick. She actually sent me an explanation on the locks. It could be the sounds of when the prisoners were locked down at night. Those locks dropping, because we kept hearing that every few minutes. So that might be residual from lockdown. So beyond that, I don't know. All we need though is a few more shows like tonight and Wednesday, when we're getting 10, 15 EVPs a show. Like I said, 436 is the magic number to tie for the first investigation. We are sitting at 206 right now, and we've got a lot of recorders to go. Almost want to find a way to get predictions for the total EVP count for Nevada State Prison. Because I think we're going to get probably close to 700 at this rate. We'll see. Is that saying who's Carol Cole? Oh my God, are we getting another one? Ain't no way. Ain't no stinking way. One more turn. One more round through. And we're going to move on from it. No, we're going to pass that one up. Good news is tonight we've got through an hour and a half of audio with a shit ton of evidence. That is pretty damn good. Surprise Sims didn't make it in. You know, we haven't gotten through that much evidence with that, getting that much evidence in a long time. That just doesn't happen. She got husband. Probably. With that being said, we are at 3 hours and 40 minutes. I wanted to be in this range, closer to 4, but my eyes are shot right now. My eyes are actually burning from looking at the screen this long. Just watching the graph. My eyes are sizzled. But I truly want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, spending almost 4 hours of analyzing some amazing evidence. I mean, you figure tonight we got bitch, walk out, bitch again, get me out, let me out, a known, a shut up, 2 get outs back to back, a male saying what time, then so you're in here, let's kill Carol Cole, get around this, and I'm sure, yeah. So we got some pretty damn good EVPs tonight, especially let's kill Carol Cole. I never would have thought that one, as I said earlier. That defined the show tonight, and this is going to define the evidence we've gotten at the prison. This one is going to fill a lot of voids for a lot of teams, and it's going to shake a lot of people when they hear it. Because I'm going to send this out to a few more people tomorrow and see what they think. You guys have an amazing evening. I will be back tomorrow, probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, as we continue Olympus number 3 and the execution chamber door. Hopefully we can wrap it up. We've got another 3 hours, 50 minutes. We've got another hour and 30 minutes left to go on this recorder. So 2 more shows, definitely. You guys have a great night. God bless. Y'all take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for everything tonight, guys. Greatly appreciate it.